In this episode, I'm going to show you how to build industry in the most effective and efficient way, even though your city may still be small. And it's easy as 1, 2, 3. So let's get started. Before we try to fix something, let's define what the problem really is. Our city is small, and within the area of property that we currently own, we have little or no specific resources. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you click on the info panel and hit on the resource button, and I'll pan up to about what I'll call 50,000 feet, you can see the area of land that I currently own. And within that dotted area, there's no resources. There's a little bit of forestry, but that's it. So our Sims need a place to work, and I don't want to buy any more property right now because I have lots of space to build in the property I have right now. But we do need industry because our Sims do need a place to work. At this point, we don't have any resources, specific resources, so it's going to end up being generic industry. I'll call it generic industry. But where and how do we build that generic industry so it's effective and efficient? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to maximize the efficiency of these generic industrial areas early in the growth of your city. And you'll need to watch this video to the end if you want to find out how. My first tip for you is build your industrial area away from your residential areas, or bare minimum, have commercial zones between your industrial and residential zones as a buffer. Why? Well, because people in real life and the Sims in this city Skylines don't like to live beside a dirty industrial area. So, would you? Well, while you're thinking about that question, hit the button below and subscribe to my channel now, and click on that bell so you don't miss out on more great tips on how to play the game of City Skylines. And while you're at it, click on the like button, and when you're done watching this video, share it with your friends. The next tip I have for you is absolutely critical, so keep watching. So tip number 2 is every industrial area must have its own highway connection. Now that's very important, so I'm going to say it one more time. Every industrial area must have its own highway connection. Now you can see the problem in my city right now. The trucks servicing the industrial area on the other side of the highway are going through the residential area to get back to the highway and get access. So the trucks are going to the residential area, and if I zoom in on this one intersection down here, you can see that the traffic is getting heavy, and it's only going to get worse as the game goes on. So we're going to have to fix that. So I've put the game on pause. So what we're going to do is we're going to bulldoze the roads that connect right now to the residential area, which are down here. And then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to create an interchange, and I'm going to create just the very simplest of interchanges to start out with. Eventually, you can have a more fulsome interchange here with free flow moves, but right now, we just want a simple interchange to make that connection. I've disconnected the roads that connected to the residential areas, and I've built a new highway interchange, as simple as it may be. I'm going to let the game run for a little while, and I'm going to bring you back and show you the results. So let's look at the results. If you look down this road here, you remember it was clogged with traffic, and it's now a very light traffic, I would say, road. As a matter of fact, there's hardly any traffic at all on that road there. It's a very quiet residential area, so that'll keep our residents happy. And if we look over here, you'll see that the truck traffic is moving very well, and our ramps are not backed up. And I did signalize both ramp terminals to give all the moves here sufficient time to make the turns they need to make. So that's all working out very well. But if we look over here, what happened? Somehow we caused a problem. So if you click on one of these houses, it'll say garbage has piled up. And if I click on this little icon, it'll say there's some garbage piled up. Make sure garbage trucks can reach the building. So unfortunately, what we did means that the garbage trucks from this area can't get easily to the other side of the highway. So, well, actually, they can't get there at all based on what we've done. And I really probably should have made this a diamond interchange. So I got two choices, I think, at this point. I can empty a couple of these landfill sites and move them to the other side, or I could make this a diamond interchange. So when garbage is piling up, I know. And if I look at these landfill sites, 0 of 15 trucks are in use, so they're not taxed in any way. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this a diamond interchange, and we'll see if that solves the problem. So I've built that diamond interchange. It's a little sloppy right now, but it's functional. And actually, I did both. I also emptied and then moved some landfill sites over to this side of the highway and put the recycling center over here. And if we look over here, as the garbage trucks go by, most of the flashing garbage cans start to dissipate. So that'll just take some more time. You can see it happening over here, but we solved that problem. So we've basically created good access for our industrial area, which is mostly over here, and we've isolated it from the residential area over here. As promised, the best tip is yet to come. Now to get to the last but most essential tip of all. We've let our city grow to a population of 8,500, and now that's going to unleash or let us access a particular policy we need to click on. So let's do that now. So here's the last but most critical tip. Tip number 3. We go down here to the bottom and we click on policies, this little rectangular box with a check mark on it, and click on that. And we go over to city planning, which in my case is already highlighted, and go down to something called Industry 4.0. So what is Industry 4.0? Well, it's new technologies that alter the nature of the industrial workforce. All industrial workplaces are for well and highly educated citizens, and increase production output by 50%. And it reduces workplaces by 30% in zoned industry. Let's think about that. So if it increases the production output by 50%, that means we can squeeze double the amount of the industrial capacity into the same amount of geographical area on our city map. It does reduce the workplace by 30%, but it gives us more room to build. And eventually, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to click on it. There we go. Click that down, and you won't believe your eyes. Well, did you see what I saw? Well, I'm sure you caught it that my industrial buildings started to vanish. But don't panic, this happens, and all that's really happening is your old, defunct industrial areas or your industrial buildings are getting replaced by more efficient. Before we move on, we've got one tiny problem left to fix, and that is that our industrial zone is completely and utterly isolated from our city. You can see that this industrial zone here is on this side of the highway, and it has absolutely no connection to that side. So I'm going to fix that by reconstructing this interchange here using the mod Move It. So let's do that. Well, as per usual, my solution wasn't elegant, but it did the job. To wrap things up in this video, I've shown you some very easy yet basic and fundamental tips on how to maximize the efficiency of your industrial zones early in the game while your city is still small. Now remember, these tips still apply when you start building specific industrial zones such as ore, oil, farming, or forestry. If you have any questions, please note them in the comments below, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If there's any particular topic you'd like me to cover, note those in the comments below, because I'm always looking for ideas. Click on that box below right now to get more great tips on how to play City Skylines. You're going to be building trains anyway, so who wouldn't want 4 easy tips on cargo trains? So click on that box, and I will see you there in my video, Cargo Trains 4 Easy Tips.